Sveiki, vasarai skaičiuojant paskutines dienas, Tauro Rago laida kviečia jūs vykti į karščiuojančią buivolų medžioklę Afrikoje. Afrikinis buivolas sveria apie 1,5 tonos ir tik susidūrus su pavojumi iškart puola su savo skustuvas aštriais ragais. Žmonės yra beveik vienintelis plėšrūnas medžiojantis buivolus. Net liūtai vengia pulti šiuos didingus padarus. Būtent šie afrikiniai buivolai patenka į pavojingiausią Afrikos 10-tuką.
Today we're going to hunt the buffalo?
Yeah, there were some ducker boys seen yesterday. We crossed in from the national park side. And, they were still inside the property. So we're going to go straight back to make sure that they haven't crossed out and hopefully find them. It's at least 4 good bulls in there. So it should be quite an exciting hunt. Looking forward to it.
Good. Okay, right? That's good. Now, look at you know.
I think some very good trophies were taken. It was certainly a successful safari in terms of the results and number of trophies that were taken and the quality of the trophies. Some good buffalo, 4 old bulls, which is ideally the kind of bulls you want to shoot. You don't want to be shooting your breeding bulls. So I think we've certainly achieved the goal from that perspective. Some of the shooting I think was not as good as we are used to. Unfortunately, that's just one of those factors. Maybe just one of the unfortunate things of using rifles that people are not used to, and the disadvantage of hiring a rifle. Yeah, basically looking at a bull will be solid at about 8 years old, but you ideally want to be shooting those bulls that are already now 10, 11, anything older than that is perfect. Because now they're starting to wear down. As they're getting older, the younger bulls are coming in and they're starting to chase those older bulls out, because the old bulls start to attract predators to the rest of the herd. So the young bulls come in with the new genes and they push those old bulls out. So that's the kind of bulls you want to take, because then you're not actually affecting the future progeny. You know, you're not affecting the gene pool when you take out the old bull.
This is the best shot. Just behind the shoulder. Yeah, perfect. The reason we say slightly behind the shoulder is because it gives more margin for error. If you shoot to the front of the shoulder, which is where the heart is, the target becomes narrower and narrower. If you shoot too far forward, you can miss anything vital. But if you shoot slightly back, if you shoot behind, the big target, you almost guaranteed to get lungs. You've got lungs either side here, you can see the lungs, the heart there, heart down there, or slung up here, so always better to be slightly back than slightly forward.
Four very nice old buffalo, like he said, most of them are past breeding age. You try and look for those bulls that are past 9 years old. The older the better, because you want to leave your younger, stronger bulls in any species for breeding. So yeah, I think all the guys did a great job, and we took all four very nice, representative, beautiful trophies, and at the end of the day the clients were happy, and that's the most important thing. Eh?
Yeah.
So you're looking for a buffalo that has got character on his horns. First of all, the bulls have bosses. The females don't really produce bosses because the buffalo bulls need them for fighting.
Yeah.
So they need that scrum cap to protect themselves when they're fighting. They're big animals. When they're fighting, they need thick protection on their head to prevent injury. So the older they get, when they first start out, the bosses are still maturing. Eventually will come up. Sometimes they join, sometimes they don't, and they'll grow in thickness and in width, and they'll solidify. So they'll start off soft. If you shoot a young bull, or you have the opportunity to come across a young buffalo, if you push, if it's say a 4 to 7 year old bull, you'll be able to find somewhere on its boss where it's soft. You can actually push in a little bit. But the older they get, the more it solidifies, and it becomes to get those gnarly bumps, and you know, as they wear it on trees and all of that, it just gets that real character, and that forms all the way together. Then there'll be no soft part of the boss. There might be a bit of skin, like some of these bulls we shot had skin between their horns, but that's not part of the boss. They were all fully mature.
Mes prabėgom kokį 50 metrų, žinai, jau tą ant kalną atbėgom, jis stovėjo virš 100 metrų, kokį 120 metrų, irgi už krūmą.
This is the national park boundary area. So just before he shot, just after he shot, he crossed the boundary. So we want to go and check if there's blood. If we find blood, then we have to call a national park scout to come with us. We can hear him moving back there, but we can't see. We can't see if there's any blood yet, but we can't go too far without a National Parks ranger. So we have to go get a ranger first, then we come back and have a look. There was a lot of brush, so difficult shot. It was a very difficult shot. We'll see if we hear him calling, let him start. Yeah, so unfortunately we can't do anything because it's on the park side. We have to go and pick up the scout.
Is it far away?
No, not too far, about 8 kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Very beautiful.
Indicator as to age. Obviously the tips, like any animal, they wear their tips down on trees and bushes and in the mud. So the rounder the tips, they'll wear their tips down as they get older. They won't be sharp, pronounced tips anymore. But yeah, the first thing is just a big neck, what we call a dewlap, that skin hanging from the neck. A big old bull will have a big dewlap and a big neck, and they also get there's an insect, a mite, which if you look on some of those older buffalo bulls, they get a bit of a white face to them. So the older they get, the more of that mite infestation they get. So you can see that white on the face, and yeah, the older the better. We just like to shoot those big old bulls. It is hard to pick the right one. It's even harder to explain to the client which one, especially if there's a language barrier. But yeah, if you've spent enough time in the business and you know what you're looking for, we can find a good bull very quickly, unless the client wants something very specific that he's looking for. Because you get guys that want either a very old bull, doesn't matter how big he is, or some guys will want score, some guys want drop. You know, there's different variables that some guys have. Mm-hmm. It's easier if you just want a client that just, you know, wants a good buffalo.
Yeah, so it was a group of 6. But, so obviously, yeah, one was shot yesterday, and now the other 5 have pushed out.
Okay.
National Park. That's okay. They'll come back. So tomorrow morning we will check this road again very early. Maybe we find that one that we saw just now, or we'll find these ones. But for now, what we'll do is we'll keep checking this boundary, and then go to another area to see if that herd has come in.
Touching on what Terry said about being wounded, it doesn't necessarily have to be wounded by the hunter. You know, in today's Africa, the poverty level is very high, and you know, these guys, a lot of these local communities are having to resort more and more to poaching, subsistence poaching, and also commercial poaching. So, like here we're fortunate because it is a very open area. There's not much thick bush, so we don't get much snaring, you know, wire cable snares. But in other areas where it's thick brush and you have defined animal paths, they're always around the water points and that they'll put snares. And buffalo being a big strong animal, they often break snares off, so you'll get a buffalo with a snare on the foot or the face or the neck, and then that becomes a dangerous animal. You know, a lot of people have had problems, locals, when they're going to get water, and also professional hunters, where you walk here along a river for a bushbuck and you walk into a buffalo bull or even a cow that's got a snare on it. She's hurting, he's hurting. It's hasn't been able to drink or eat properly, and it's aggressive. So you got to always keep in mind in areas where there is a poaching element for that sort of scenario, and it's not just buffalo. It's any animal.
That's why it's important to have experienced professionals. You know, you can't just go out there and take a rifle and go and shoot an elephant or go and shoot a buffalo. You know, you've got to have guys who've been in the business and understand that we've been trained, you know, how to handle the situations, and practically. You don't just go and write an exam and get a license. You've literally got to physically go out and hunt those animals and gain experience before you even consider to get your license. And that's the reason for that process.
Kada galėsi, sakai, šauni?
Bet jau galima?
Galima, jeigu galima, jeigu tau patogu, galima.
Well done, my friend. Very good trophy. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very old.
Even old.
Very old. Very old. And
How old?
this between 10 and 11 years old. Some, not all buffaloes join. It's genetics. Some join, some don't join. So, some people say, but this is a young bull. It's not. He's fully mature. He's fully solid. It's just that his genetics, the bosses don't join up. So his boss is fully solid all the way to here. This is that's skin now.
Happy day! This is much nicer than the bull in the herd, much nicer. Big, solid bottle. Wine, they're old. Fantastic.
Šiandien tiek, susitiksime lygiai po savaitės. Kas jį dabar įsijungite ir nespėjote pamatyti laidos, ją rasite mūsų tinklapyje tauroragas.lt arba internetinėje svetainėje LNK Go. Nei plaukų jums, nei tokų. Iki.